What's up, Bod Squad? It's Bailey
and Blair.
and this is Bodden's Up. So we're back.
We are back.
By popular demand today, we are going to talk on building houses.
Yes.
We get questions about this all the time. We're fairly new to this ourselves, but
Yeah.
we just wanted to touch on like our biggest learnings as we started building houses and biggest takeaways, biggest fuck ups, biggest, whatever.
Yeah.
So what questions have we had around that?
Well, the main one I get is how we got into it, which, that's our dad's a builder and we've been around it our whole lives. And yeah, he was building custom homes back when we were elementary school.
Yeah.
And then he owned a restaurant for a little bit.
Dad is quite the serial entrepreneur. He's been doing all the things.
He is indeed.
But by trade, he's a general contractor. So
Yes.
he builds homes. He's built commercial properties. He's built, and he built the HPR, which for anyone who doesn't know, an HPR in Nashville is a horizontal property regime. And that is where there's two homes built on the same lot.
Maximizing the space.
Really maximizing. Basically,
We definitely did that.
yeah,
with these builds we just
maximizing
did.
the builder's pockets. We'll
Yes.
say. Yeah. But so most of the time, the questions we've gotten around that is definitely how we got into it, and obviously by trade, that's just our family's always been in that business.
Yeah.
So we learned really young about the building process and what it looks like to buy a piece of land, develop plans with an architect, design. And the design part, that's all Blair and Mom. Like, they handle all of that start to finish.
It's the most tedious, insane. I love it. I absolutely love it. But there's so much that goes into it. Like, it would take me 3 episodes to tell you everything.
Yeah, like you don't even realize how intense the design aspect is until you're in it. And they're like, what about this door handle? And you're like,
there's so many different things you have to think about.
yeah.
Like, it's just the steps and like down to the grout color. Like, that was the most insane, like, I would say fuck ups that we had in these houses, was like trying to communicate all those little pieces and how they got lost in translation. And it's really cool. Like, right now we have a client that, they're in framing process, and it's a different builder. It's a real estate client. So, but watching how this builder does things and learning from them, that, because they've been in the business for
like a million years,
20 years. Yeah. And just listening to them and having meetings with their project manager and just learning from that. And it's just, it's cool to see it, how it functions in probably a more proper way than what we've done. We're always trying to do things before we probably are fully ready to do it. It's a learning process, but it always turns out great. And, it's,
Yeah, it goes back to our ready, shoot, aim mentality. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong or good or bad, but it works for us. We just kind of go for it. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, we learn something and we move forward. And and either way, you're getting something done. And it's it's better than just sitting on an idea and not doing it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people that want to custom build a home, this is the advice we would give to you, is just the first step is finding a piece of land that you want to build.
It's the hardest part, though.
It's the hardest part for us.
Yeah, especially in Nashville.
Well, I say that once you're again, we've been selling real estate in Nashville for 10 years. So once you're in the depths of it and you have the connections and the contacts to get those leads before they're on the MLS and get the listings before they're sent out to millions of people. But if you don't have those contacts and you don't have that access, the truest to form, I would be door knocking, sending letters.
Or hiring a real estate agent.
Well, of course. Yes, hiring a real estate agent, of course, call us. But even us, like...
Yeah, no, we even struggle with finding land for... If you're not in that building world, it's...
Like, if you're not trying to go hire... Like, again, yes, you can hire a real estate agent to go door knock for you. Absolutely. But if this is something that you're wanting to do on your own and, like, build, and even as a realtor, if you're wanting to do it and you don't know how to find these leads, like, it is, like, truest to form. Freaking door knocking and going and sending the letters. Like, I send letters in Wedgwood Houston all the time, and like, you know, and of course meet our neighbors and go to functions in the neighborhood and whatever. But that would be the first thing, is like finding the land. You got to go find your land and find out where you want to be and where you want to build. And then what would you say is like the next step?
There's so many different ways to go about it, because you can find a floor plan that you like, find the architect, find the designer, buy the floor plan. Mom and I, like, these 2 builds, like, we designed them from scratch.
Yeah.
So, you know, we got on our little, like, 3D planner thing online, and it was so makeshift because I'm not an architect. I wish I knew how to use SketchUp and everything. It's on my list of things to do.
Yeah.
But we just designed it in a 2D form and then called an architect and had her implement it
and draw it. Yeah. And honestly, so what's the software we're using for that? It's House Up, right? Or House?
Well, that's for like our construction
costs and everything. Yeah.
I think it's called like 3D floor planner or something. We can link it.
We'll link it on here, because I think that's actually super helpful.
User friendly.
Yeah. It's user friendly for someone who's literally not an architect, which we're not. And that's been the easiest thing for us, is like, we know what we like and we know what we want. And instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars going back and forth with an architect making changes to plans, which is what most people would do.
Yeah.
If you do know kind of what you're wanting, or you've seen a floor plan you like or whatever, you know, you can absolutely go on there and draw it yourself.
Yeah. It's very user friendly. And like, I learned, if you know how to do any sort of software, or you're just computer savvy in general, like, it's easy to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So step 1 is you're finding your land. Step 2, you're going to be going in and basically working with an architect and designer and you're going to be sketching your floor plan.
Yep.
So once the floor plan is done, it's locked in. And honestly, like, once it's done and locked in, like, you're done and locked in. Like,
you want to be, because that was something else.
Making changes after we're underway is not a thing. It sucks.
That's why, like, our beach house we're starting on, Mom is just stressed. She's like, we got to have all this down pat. Your father's going to fucking kill us if we make all these electrical changes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, Mom, I got it. I got it. Like,
because that's
really
what we did with the houses in Wedgwood Houston.
And Dad could have killed us.
Yeah. Because
he's the type to just do it himself. He's not going to bring the electrician back in.
Yeah, so. He'll just move the plug himself, or like what, and then he's there for 3 days doing it, and it's just like, yeah, it's so silly.
Oh,
but I mean, it is true. Once you're underway in construction on a new house, you want to make sure everything is set in stone. Your floor plan, down to your electrical, down to your lighting. Because once it's framed in, changing these things is really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, is just making sure every detail, and it's a lot of work on the front end to save you time on the back end.
For sure. Like if we had all those things, like, and honestly, a lot of the changes were more design.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes in, like, why it's on my to-do list to learn SketchUp and everything. Because if I could do more visual things, renderings, then it would be so beneficial for me, because a lot of those changes were me being like, ugh, like, I want those sconces on the wall instead of from the ceiling.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I caught a lot of it in the beginning, but if you try to do it later, it is a pain.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I would just say, anyone who's listening, if you have something we need, let us know. Message us on Instagram.
What do you mean?
Like any of these softwares that you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's something user-friendly we don't know about. Like, send it.
I mean, I have, because we also sell cabinets, which is No one knows that really.
Yeah.
But I use 2020, so I can do some renderings.
Yeah.
I'm like very savvy in that, but it's not anything like SketchUp and
like the
what's
intensity.
the other one?
SketchUp and I don't remember, something else.
Yeah, there's another one.
But yeah, definitely just keep it.
Or if anyone knows of anyone that
can do it,
budget friendly, that wants to do some renderings for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I'm sure that there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we haven't really
hit us up.
Dove into that.
Message us. We want to work with you.
Yeah.
Because we are notoriously just want to do it all ourselves.
Yes.
Like we are, like I said, grew up in an entrepreneurial house, and where my mom and dad and mom and Jan, like they all just do it themselves, and they're really good at a lot of things. And I think it's funny because back to like cocktails days, which I know we talked about cocktails a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
And it's like when we opened our restaurant, we didn't have the budget to be able to hire like a graphic designer to do the ads for our magazines and all the different things. So we had to learn Adobe Illustrator in 2012.
Well, I learned it in school, which I haven't touched it
from the design
since,
thing.
But
But it's like we had to learn how to use these softwares so early on. At the time, we were like, what in the fuck are we doing here? Like we are not just
it was our master's degree, Bailey.
Literally, it happened to be the best thing that ever happened, because once I had to learn these skills with the restaurant because we couldn't pay someone else to do it, I actually, when we got out of the restaurant, I ended up opening a branding company.
Yeah.
Because I loved it. Like I loved doing the logos and the websites and all the different things to get people's existence online. And I mean, we have used that so much.
Canva is our best
friend.
My
gosh. Love Canva. Anyone who hates on Canva, you can fuck off. We don't care. Like we love it.
We love Canva.
We love it. Canva, Illustrator. Mallory's teaching me how to use what's the editing for Lightroom?
Oh, Lightroom.
I'm learning how to use
Lightroom for a minute there. Now I'm a Tezza girly. It's just
I'm
quicker.
loving it. Loving it.
Yeah,
and
Lightroom's great.
So if you don't have Adobe, like the whole platform, like just take a weekend.
Yeah.
Sit down, do the whole tutorial. But I mean, it's crazy. We've used it in real estate. We've used it with my art business. We've used it with your interiors business. We've used it with everything. So it's like such a skill.
Yeah.
Now, not to say we wouldn't outsource it if it was
I actually taught myself Illustrator in school though.
Yeah.
Like before But that's how I think it's user friendly. If you just play around with it,
and
watch
you learn,
some YouTube videos.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting into the renderings, when you're building a house, we want to make sure that everything is set in stone on the plans and the finishes.
Yeah.
But so
those can change here and there, like
tiles and
because something will come up back ordered, or hiccups happen, and you just have to be like prepared for like a second choice or something. But like that part. Selections like that aren't so tough for me. I can pull that stuff together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it's when you bring a client into it.
Yeah. Which, thank God, shout out to Jamie, the guy who built these last two houses.
He was a dream client.
So we built two houses in Wedgwood, Houston. Jamie bought one side, and Blair and we are going to be selling the other side.
Yeah,
correct?
Eventually,
like at some point, we're keeping
Kevin
it right
and I
now.
are gonna. Yeah, we're keeping it for now.
But
we're too busy to move.
Yeah,
so
it's been wedding season. But so Jamie ended up buying one side, and he was a dream to work with.
Yeah, he was.
And now we're like so scarred because he's so perfect and so amazing to work with that like we've interviewed multiple people to do like custom projects for them to build on the other side of my lot where I'm building my house. And I'm like, we're hard interviewing people.
Yeah.
Like, who are we gonna, because you're basically getting into this whole process with them for 9 months.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot.
It's a relationship. Like you're getting into the whole nitty gritty with them, and they don't like something, or if they're, really nitpicky about X, Y, and Z, it's like, or the process or how you do things, it's like, you got to keep them happy.
Well, budget comes into it a lot too.
And the budget.
Like people want the Pinterest board.
Yeah.
But their budget doesn't allow it. And you're like, how do I tell them that they can't do this, you know, and you're trying to give them the Pinterest board, which I will say Mom and I are freaking good at that. Like we can deliver that in a costly manner, but yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. So it is tough. So you buy, again, we're going back to our little steps here because this is for the person
Keep it in the steps.
that wants to buy land, build their house, and design it. So obviously you could hire Blair to design, and my mom to do the floor plans and all of those things, and for us to build it, obviously. But
we can step you through the whole process.
But if you're in like Seattle or somewhere, like we're probably not going to build your house there. So this is for you.
I would find a designer. Unless you're into that. Like I have multiple clients, real estate clients right now, and they have like a vision. They know what they want. Their taste is like there for like selecting and maybe like keeping within a budget. Like I think it's very doable, but if it's like totally outside of your comfort zone, just hire a designer.
Just hire somebody,
because you'll end up wanting to change things within 6 months. You're going to end up spending more money. It's hard to like pull it together if your eye doesn't like go there, you know?
Of course. So. Yeah. I feel like so many people are creative though, especially when someone comes to the picture and they're like, I want to build my own house. Typically they're creative.
They have a vision.
Yeah. Of what they want it to look like. Yeah. So you've got your plan, you've got the designer, you've picked out all the finishes, then what?
I mean, you have to, it's different in every state, I've learned.
Yeah,
like
that's
going true. With Florida, like going to Florida now, like I'm learning a lot of what they allow you to do without a certain license or, you know, whatever. It's different everywhere all over the country, or really all over the world. I've even learned things in Colombia when we went to Colombia, and anyone can build there. Like you don't have to, whatever. But if you do have to have a license, a contractor's license, and you know, you have to take those certain steps, you got to hire a builder.
So, but if you build a home in Tennessee, it's not this way in Florida, I don't think, but if you build a home in Tennessee, you can build your own home.
I think it is like that in Florida too.
I think
maybe.
it is. I think in Tennessee, and
again,
we'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure in Tennessee you can legally build, and you can subcontract out. You can legally build your own personal home, and you can subcontract it out by yourself. You don't have to hire a builder. Do we recommend that? Not particularly. Like, I think it's a safe bet to hire somebody who is a general contractor who has built homes before and that knows what they're doing.
I'm fact checking us just so nobody comes for our throats.
Nah, whatever. Come for our throats. We don't care. But I do think it's important to have somebody experienced. Yeah. So in Tennessee, you can legally contract out or subcontract out your own home to build it yourself.
Yeah.
You do not have to hire a builder, and you do not have to hire even a project manager. You can build it yourself.
You are limited to only one permit every 2 years though.
Yep.
And
so you can only build only build one personal home every 2 years in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. It has to be for your own personal use though. You can't just build it to sell it.
Yeah, you'd have to live there for a while.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because, like, for anyone who doesn't know this, when you build a home, you immediately have equity. Like almost immediately. Unless you're, like, putting, you know, granite from freaking Italy in it and, like, overbuild it and whatever. I don't know. But just know you're going to make a lot more money on a real estate deal if you're building the home than if you are buying a retail property.
Yeah, because you're doing it at cost.
Yeah. Everything's at cost, and you're not. It's basically like going to the water well and getting the water yourself versus going to Erewhon and buying the $20 bottle of water.
Right.
Yeah. So
for sure,
that's the difference.
Yeah.
So okay, now you've decided you're either going to build this home yourself or you're hiring a builder, and then what?
Well, you get the process started.
What's
from
that
the foundation?
Like? Well, yeah, because you got to pull permits.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
our process was tearing down a house, which was
we pulled permits and then we tore down the house.
Yes.
You can either contract that out or you can do it yourself. Here's a
which
clip. Here's a clip of Blair on the. I'll post it in there. And
good times.
And or you can tear it down yourself. You can hire somebody. I think, what was the quote we got for that? It was like,
it was usually like 10 to 20 grand.
It was, I mean, that was substantially less than I thought it was going to be. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like 50 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no. I was going into it thinking, I think it's like 10 to 20 once the demo happens and then they haul off the.
See,
but it was, I mean, it took us like 2 weeks to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Time is money.
Time is money when it comes to subcontracting out certain things. So my dad is definitely one of those people that's like,
if he can save a buck anywhere, he's going to do it.
He's going to do it, and he's going to do it himself. I don't agree with this. I am the opposite of this, which is why, whatever. I just like to buy my time back. So I would have, if I could go back, this is one of the fuck ups I would have done differently, is things like that. It was worth the 10 grand to me to get it done, knocked down, started.
Yeah.
Than to do that ourselves.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was cold.
It
was just really unpleasant.
Yeah, just super unpleasant.
It was fun the first day, like just taking the Bobcat into the roof.
You're basically just slamming into the roof. It's great. It's like very therapeutic.
Yeah.
But
hauling off the material and doing all that. That was not it.
It's like just hire a crew, bring them in.
They'll get it done in like 3 days.
Not even.
Yeah.
I've seen them tear down and get rid of stuff in like 24 hours. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So like, and of course, like the framing crew, like,
oh my God, we had them framed in like 5 days.
And for a reference, for anyone who doesn't know, we built these two 3-story, 4,300 square foot each homes in Wedgwood, Houston, with elevators, like decked out to the nines, scullery kitchen. Like, I would dare to say the most luxurious property in Wedgwood, Houston.
For sure.
Which is like a little neighborhood.
We were setting a new standard.
Yeah, definitely a new standard. It's beautiful. But I would just say that, like, it's definitely it was worth the time to buy back that experience versus like having choosing a great framing crew, somebody who comes in and frames your project in like 2 weeks. I think it was less than that. It's probably a week.
No, it was like a week.
Yeah.
Less than.
They came in, the framing crew came in, they framed the houses within a week. We used like commercial grade trusses. Like my dad definitely as a builder has come in and he wants to make sure that the client's going to call him in 10 years and tell them how much they love the house versus, calling him every day with tons of things that are messed up with it and all of that. So like the quality of the build is super important to us.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like, because you're watching, especially in Nashville, you're watching so many houses go up that are, like, you walk through them and you can tell.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell if
they just don't feel as solid or
like it was done.
As insulated. Like our insulation was even
crazy.
Like you can't hear anything in this house.
The insulation.
Even with no furniture in it, you couldn't hear anything.
There was like required fireproofing. Dad did like double what was required. Like it's just little things like that I think people can feel the difference and like you can tell when the extra care has been taken.
Yep.
So anything else, like once the contractors are underway, then what? Like it's just really the design process.
Yeah, like Mom and I had like an idea of everything we were doing, but like we had lighting picked out just because of electrical.
Yeah.
From the get-go. Like that was probably the first thing we did because once your framing goes in, your electrical follows behind and your plumbing.
Yeah.
And plumbing too. We had some fun times, and it wasn't anything we did. It was the subs that were recommended to us weren't so great sometimes, and we had some mess ups. And
so what's a recommendation of vetting your subs when you're building a house?
Oh my gosh, I mean, honestly, I this is great, and this has nothing to do with my father. I don't know really his process of finding subs.
Yeah,
he has his own process of that. Me, with my interior clients, I fucking use Thumbtack.
Yeah.
And I have found the best
yeah.
professionals at really good prices too.
Yeah.
Like really good companies. And yeah.
So,
I mean, I now have like long lasting relationships with a few of them. Like at least electrical and plumbing, where I will probably use them again on our new builds now.
That's awesome.
Not in Florida,
for anyone who doesn't know, and again, Thumbtack didn't pay us to say this. It's
absolutely
just what we
not.
use.
Yeah.
But Thumbtack has the ratings of the they're all vetted. Like to even get on there as a vendor, I think they go through a really intense vetting process.
Yeah.
And I mean, the ratings on there, it's no
like
different
background checks and stuff. Even
great.
It's like supposed to be a very safe.
Yeah.
I have not had a single issue.
Yeah.
No.
So we go through Thumbtack. We go through. So we found our. Let's just say, for example, we found all of our subcontractors. They're going in. They're doing the plumbing. So where's the corner turned where like the house is like a month out? Is it like?
Cabinets was probably our turn. Yeah.
Like once the cabinets are going in, once your kitchen's
everything
going in,
just starts falling into place.
Yeah, it starts falling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we also sell cabinets. I already said that, I think.
Yeah. We are a wholesaler with Dura Supreme, and if you don't know that, Google Dura Supreme. It's a great quality product.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah.
And so many options. Like
so many. And it's all custom, like but you're getting a price point that isn't like crazy for custom.
It can be.
It can be depending on your finish.
Thinking.
Yeah. Depending on your finish. But that's with anything. I think with any tile, any like really any finishes. Like there's $2,000 doorknobs and there's $40 doorknobs. Yeah. Like you can, and honestly, you can kind of find a similar look on a lot of them. So it's like you kind of can decide what you want that to be and not be. Yeah. Okay. So if you have any questions about the building process, that's pretty much our turning corner. But yeah. If you have questions, message us. We'd love to chat with you about anything you are wanting to build or think you want to build or questions. And even if you're in another country, let us know. Like, we love to hear about the process and the horror stories and crazy shit. So we love y'all. Bye.